So Howard Dean yesterday on MSNBC said one of the most inept things of all time. It's a little long, but
Of
just
government and
watch.
MSNBC political contributor David Johnson. Howard Dean, you can be any Dean you want. We're gonna let you be who you are. I'm gonna come to you first, though, Leah, because Donald Trump got no. I mean, he was fully he was taken apart all across the board, except for a couple of groups, white evangelicals, pretty much stood by him. But he got huge praise from white nationalists. Some of whom called him the most honest president since Washington. He's drawn their active praise. In a normal presidency, this would cause a complete rethink, right? But with Trump, why do you suppose it doesn't?
So it doesn't, because this is who he's been, this is who he is, this is what he thrives on, right? So he is someone who has really just kind of appealed to these ideas. I mean, we're in a moral moment right now. This is a moment where it should be clear as day. Any Republican any president, doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, whatever, knows that this is something that you're supposed to speak out about. But this is a guy who is essentially, right, president of the internet comments, right? The comment section of the internet. And this is who he is. This is a man who does not have moral courage, who does not have moral decency, and is not the conscience of our nation, and doesn't have the ability to speak to the conscience of our nation.
Yeah, and Governor Dean, a lot of people have been praising Mitt Romney for coming out with this forceful statement on Facebook against Donald Trump. But I have to recall that Donald Trump had already gone after Muslims, called Mexicans rapists, gone after women, gone after former Miss Universe contestants, you name it. He had offended everyone. When Mitt Romney went and begged for a job at a dinner in November of 2016, I mean, Donald Trump had already been doing that. The Access Hollywood video had happened, and Mitt Romney was perfectly happy to sit down with him and eat dinner. Do you think Republicans are getting praise, undeserved praise, for only being willing to name Donald Trump and stand up to him when it's actual Nazis that he is excusing?
Well, we don't know what went on at that dinner, but I think Mitt Romney came out of that dinner looking pretty terrible. And I think the lesson is don't meet with Donald Trump if you don't want somewhere down the line. You don't want to look pretty bad. This guy is a guy who has no moral character. But the interesting thing about this, Joy, is I think this may be the moment for Trump that last weekend. I think today, in the 2018 elections, if you vote for a Republican, you're supporting Donald Trump. This has now become a referendum. If you want to vote for a racist in the White House, then you better vote for Republicans. But if you want to vote for the Democrats and really have change, that's where I think America is going. And I think there's a lot more decent Americans than there are the kind of people who supported the folks in Charlottesville. And Trump is in the minority, and that's what the polling shows. So I think this may be the moment that turns America away from the Republican Party, which, frankly, long before Donald Trump was dog whistling race, gay rights, immigrants, and Muslims.
Yeah. Hey, Patrice, one of the reasons we wanted to have you here because as a co-founder of the
Okay, so let's go over what they said. Now, first off, they paint all Trump supporters as bad people and white nationalists and things like that. You can't do that. You just can't do that. Because when you do that, you create hostility. You create people saying, oh no, this guy in my family's a Trump supporter. He's perfectly fine. He's a perfectly fine person. This is something they mentioned Romney in that segment. He did that in 2012 when he said 47% of people are going to vote for Obama because they're lazy. And he needs to try and get the last 3% of votes. When that statement came out, they were like, oh, well, my friend's an Obama supporter. He's not lazy. You see? That's why you can't do that. Hillary Clinton even tried during the election. She called all Trump supporters deplorable. You can't do that. When you do that, you basically say, listen, these people over here, they're all bad, but I know someone over there, they're fine. No, you see, that's bad. You can't do that. Now let's talk about Howard Dean's actual statement. Now, first off, Howard Dean was stuttering like he was Porky Pig in an interview. That's all, folks. That's all, folks. My God. Howard, you are a person, not a cartoon character. I feel like I have to remind Howard Dean that every now and then. I feel like there has to be someone off stage saying, because even Howard Dean forgets it sometimes. Like, wait, am I real? Or am I a cartoon character? I don't even know anymore. Okay, let's get to what he said. That is the moment people will turn away from the Republican Party. That is actively untrue. That is, let's ignore what I already talked about, how Howard Dean continued being like, oh, why? You can vote for our good people, our smart people. No, you can't do that. But I've talked about this before. The 30% of people who are still supporting Trump, that's still the Republican base. Those people will still support him no matter what. Why do you think, even in 2008, people were supporting Republicans? Even in 2012, people were supporting Republicans. And even 2016, people were supporting Republicans. And here's the thing. The very mindset Howard Dean is using is the mindset that caused us to lose in 2016. It was the mindset of, we're going to win no matter what, why even bother? That's why Hillary Clinton didn't campaign in so many states. Because Hillary Clinton was like, I'm going to win, this is Democratic firewall, why even bother? Then it turns out she lost in those states. When you don't have any effort into your message, you're just like, we're good people. Then you lose because you don't have a message. You need a message. But anyway, that's it. I'm Ephrom, and good night.